Hey guys, it's Brian again with another ceiling fan video. What I have for you here is a 52-inch Ritz Tangiers ceiling fan made by Tat. It's antique brass with wood blades. I believe these blades are pecan. I'm not entirely sure though what they're made out of, but pretty nice fan. A little bit dirty, I haven't had a chance to clean it up yet. It's a variable speed fan with a reversible pull chain. You can see it's got the footprint style vents. Pretty thick motor housing. And it has a Hunter original style canopy, although it is not a two-piece like the originals, it's just a one-piece. And it hangs from a double claw mounting system. It has a cast iron spinner motor. And the reason why I picked this fan up is I actually got 3 of these out of an old church in Mansfield. And they had been hanging there since brand new when they were first purchased, and the building was probably built in the 60s. But it was a really beautiful old church that they were remodeling, sadly. So the pastor decided to take the 3 ceiling fans down and put something a little bit more modern up. So I wound up with these in my possession. Unfortunately, the variable speed controls do not work in these fans. They, whoever installed these on the church ceiling did not install them correctly. They had a whole mess of wires going to several different things in here that was just not wired correctly at all. And my thoughts are, as I have rewired these to work the factory way that they were supposed to work, and the variable speeds do not work on all 3 of them, my thoughts are they're probably shorted out. It was probably that mess of wiring that whatever contractor put these up shorted out the speed control, which is really sad. But the good news is you can definitely get replacement speed controls. It's just a cardboard box variable speed. It's really no different than any other fan that uses a cardboard box control. So sadly, I will not be able to demonstrate the variable speed, but I will be able to demonstrate the reversible pull chain. And as you can see, this is hanging on a piece of copper pipe. Somehow was rigged onto this as a down rod. Don't ask me how, I have no idea. But anyway, let's go ahead and we're going to turn it on. I'm testing this today on my 4-speed test box, which normally I use this white one for IntelliTouch controls. As you can see, it's got the square cutout, but I currently do not have an IntelliTouch control to put in there, so I'm just using a 4-speed. So let's go ahead. I'm going to turn the control to the lowest speed, and I'm going to pull the chain once to show you the fan. They're all in pretty good shape cosmetically. I mean, yeah, they're a little dirty, but they could definitely use a little bit of cleanup. But they run perfectly fine other than the variable speed's not working. Definitely has a hum to it. And I believe this one has a warped blade, but not really a big deal. These are very cool fans. And this controller actually gives it a pretty decent low speed. So I'm going to turn the controller up to a medium low. Definitely a decent air mover. Not the most powerful fan in the world, but definitely has, you know, it holds its own. And I'll be sure to put a picture of the motor tags on top of the motor at the end of the video. There's a childhood story behind why I picked up these fans in particular. There used to be a bakery in Bay Village, which is actually still there, called Fragapanni's, and They, when I was a little kid, my grandparents used to take me there because they bought fresh bread from there. And in the store, there was 2 of these. And I believe they were antique brass. They might have been polished brass. I really don't remember. But there, I remember them very specifically because of the Hunter original style canopy and the footprint vents. Although those fans may not have been variable speed. But I do remember these fans being in there very, very well. And the one thing that I always remembered was how close the blade arms mount to the center shaft, leaving that big gap in between the motor housing and the blade arms. That was one thing that I do remember. So I know they were Tangiers made by Ritz that were made by Tat. Anyway, let's go ahead and turn it up one more speed. This is medium high. Like I said, not the strongest air mover in the world, but definitely holds its own. Yeah, I have a lot of memories of going to that Italian bakery and getting cupcakes. My grandmother always used to buy me a cupcake every time that we went over there. And I remember looking at these fans while my grandfather used to buy bread and eating a cupcake. A lot of good memories. And we'll turn it to high now. I tried testing this on my solid state control test box, but it was not very responsive with the vari-speed control. Honestly, it would only really start about 3/4 of the way towards high, and it really wouldn't give you much of a range between that and high, so it's just not worth even trying it in the video. It's got a pretty strong high speed. It's not a Hunter original, but it's pretty good for what it is. So I'll go ahead and turn it off, and then I will demonstrate the reversible pull chain. This is not very often that I demonstrate reverse features on fans in my videos, but for the sake of it having a reversible pull chain, I think I'm gonna do it this time. And now that I'm looking at it, I'm thinking it's not the blade that's warped. I think one of the blade brackets might be slightly bent. But no big deal. I can always fix that as long as they're not terribly brittle. Like I said, these fans have been hanging in that church in Mansfield since they were brand new, and I'm inclined to believe that these are from the early 80s. Thinking 81 or 82, possibly even 1980. So, how the blades got bent, I have absolutely no idea, but still a very cool fan. And I like how the blades have a very sharp and pronounced point to them. Kind of like early Casablancas. The other thing that I like that I'll show you is the blade arms have concealed hardware. You don't see any screw hole points in them. And one would think that these are Casablanca arms, but no. Actually, these were the first fans, if I'm not mistaken from what I've heard from other collectors, to have that feature. It was either Ritz or Tat. I don't remember. One of the two. Okay, so let's go ahead and demonstrate the reverse pull chain. Pull it again after turning it off and forward, and it goes in the opposite direction. And just as a side note, I have 3 of these fans. I'm keeping 1, and the other 2 will be for sale. Now keep in mind, if you're interested, they do not have working variable speed controls, and I will not be replacing these on any of the fans that I sell. So that will be up to you. If you're interested, send me a message on Facebook, and I will be more than happy to accommodate. One of them is claimed already, as I have a friend, a local fan collector, that is getting one from me. But there is one more for sale. Definitely not moving as fast in the reverse direction, but anyway. These fans are as is, just so everybody knows. I'm not doing any modifications to them. I'm putting the wiring back to factory, and the speed controls don't work. So anyway, there you have it. That's a 52-inch Ritz Tangiers ceiling fan made by Tad. Hope you guys enjoyed. Keep watching. More videos to come.